Loud. Okay, so welcome to our first ever Coach Sip and Learn. If you have a drink, feel free to cheers right now.
Yes.
And if you don't have a drink, that's fine too. Just drink your water because you'll find out we are a team all about balance. Like our health is first and foremost all the time, but also like that's not realistic 100% of the time. So you need to let loose, you need to have fun. And that's what we always call it a 80-20 balance, where 80% of the time you're on it, and then 20% of the time you enjoy the foods that you do enjoy and the drinks that you do love. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen because we have a presentation tonight. And we wanted to do this on a Zoom call because we want this to be interactive. So if you can turn on your screen, turn on your screen. If you can't, we get it. Sometimes like you're in bed with kids and you're listening on your phone, but we want to see faces, and we're actually going to pull up, if you don't already know about it, we use the chat section like big time on our team. So pull up the chat section. We're going to be asking questions throughout the presentation. Just like for you to drop just random things. We'll be asking like, what do you do? And like, just like, where do you live? All those fun questions, but we want this to be interactive. And even at any time, if you want to unmute yourself and be like, hey, can you explain that a little more? Feel free to do that, or drop questions in the chat section. We will have some time at the very, very end to go over questions as well. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen and we'll kick this off. Make it big. All right, so like I said, this is our first time doing Coach Zoom, Sip and Learn, and our team is called Heart and Hustle. I'm the founder, Brooke Anderson, 4 years ago, which is always crazy to say because I feel like that makes me so old, but I just love our team because it feels like we're just really, really normal people. Like we are just, a lot of us are small town girls, farm girls. Like there's nothing like honestly special about us except for the fact like we bond and we do everything together. And I think that's when things are really special, is when a group of women can come together and work towards a common goal of just a healthy and fulfilling lifestyle. So our team has hit, I put 2021, 2020 and 2021 elite. That just means, for some of you, I'm sure you're like, what does that even mean? That just means our team has hit of the last 2 years, one of the highest benchmarks in our company. And again, I just like, to me, that's so amazing because I just feel like we're a little small team that is just chugging along. But when you're like linking arms and doing it together, you can truly like create amazing outcomes and hit amazing goals together. So what we're going over tonight are our stories. We as coaches, we never hold back from sharing our stories. They are the number one thing. That is how we connect to people. So I'm going to share my story. Dana White's going to share hers, and Rebecca Dillon is going to share hers, because you never know that's just like the heart of who we are, our story, whether it's all the way back when we're younger, whether it's the struggles we faced in college, early years of marriage, or wherever stage of life you are, like people connect to our stories more than anything. And that's something that it's always been a struggle for me because I'm like, my story is so boring. But I found out that actually a boring story is what a lot of people connect to. Like I'm not someone who's had 100-pound weight loss. I'm not someone who has personally struggled with an eating disorder, overcame this big thing. I've overcome things, but don't think you have to have this extravagant story to be a coach, because the most relatable stories that are just real and raw is what most people are going through. So we're going to talk about what we do as coaches, making it work for you and your lifestyle, how to attract like-minded people. You'll hear a lot. We always say you attract your tribe doing this. And I never understood it until like 2 years ago when I looked around and these women aren't exactly like me, but we all have the same mentality about life, about our morals are similar. And let me just tell you, when you find people who just get life like you do, it's so much fun. It is so much fun to work with them and do life with them. We'll talk about the coach perks like traveling, and then of course how we earn, because that's a real thing. It'll be at the very end. But make sure if you can to stay on at the very end, because we are going to draw 3 winners and we're giving out $20 Amazon gift cards tonight because our team loves giving out Amazon gift cards. Like it's truly not a Team Heart and Hustle event if there's not an Amazon gift card attached to it. That's just who we are. All right. Next up is I want to clear up a few myths diving in before we get into our stories, because there's a lot of things people just have in their mind that just doesn't accurately portray who we are and what we do as coaches. So the first thing is, and maybe write in the chat section right now, like what one do you feel like connects to you the most? I know for me, it was kind of like all of them, but especially the salesy part. But the Beachbody coaching is just another pyramid scheme. First of all, like you need to know that pyramid schemes are illegal, and Beachbody has been around for 20 plus years. We have never gotten like any write-ups or mandates from anybody. Like this is truly a legit business. That like pyramid schemes are when you like, when it's like coaches that just only buy from coaches. Like that's not what we are, because we have a huge customer base. Not everyone is coaches. So like if anyone is ever coming at you like with that, like please like do your research, let them know like this isn't a pyramid scheme. We would be shut down. I don't have the money to become a coach. Here's the thing with that part of it. What you put into coaching, you are also directly putting into your own health. Because here's what you put into coaching. You put in the money for the workouts, the products, which are incredible and top of the line. And you will find if you're not using them already, like they are a game changer. And then you are also putting in a $15 monthly coaching fee that goes to all of your business needs. They do the coach office. We have all these resources online. So like everything that you're putting into the business, you're also like putting into yourself. For new coaches especially, we have like some things right off the gate where we set you guys up of like, hey, if you don't want to be paying for your product, like this is how you cover it every single month by helping 3 people. And I'm not going to get into those details right now, but like there are ways where you can totally cover your costs and expenses right out the gate with coaching. I'm not fit enough to be a coach. This is a huge one. And here's the thing, like I said, our stories just need to be real and raw. Yes, it's really fun to see like perfectly shaped abs and like a perfectly manicured picture, but that's not real life. Like the coaches who come in here like needing to lose 30 to 40 pounds, or who have been having that 10 pounds of extra weight with them their whole life, those are the people that are most relatable to others. And because they're watching you and saying, well, dang, she's just like me. If she can do it, like I can do it too. And personally speaking, I've had 2 postpartum journeys. Like, I've gotten pregnant twice while being a coach, and gaining 35, 40 pounds, losing it, like that is so much bigger than just if I would have just been super fit and in shape the last 4 years of coaching. Like showing people like this is for every stage, no matter what you're going through. I'm not a salesperson. Oh man. First off, I'm not a salesperson. And that was my biggest hesitation. I was approached by, and I'll get to my story in a second, but I was approached by a lot of MLMs when I decided to stay home with my baby girl. And I was just like so turned off because it just seemed so salesy. And I'm like, I have not a sales bone in my body. And then when I started Beachbody and I realized like, this is just me working out and me, like, I am truly changed from the inside out. I'm a better wife. I'm a better mom. I'm a better friend. I have more energy through the roof. I was like, this is a gift that everybody needs. So like, maybe a sales transaction will happen way down the road, but just sharing something that has truly changed my life does not feel salesy at all. And then the last one is I don't have time to make coaching work. Oh my goodness. So I just think of like Dana, she's a mom of 4. I'm a mom of 3. We have lots of ladies who work full time. Rebecca has 2 jobs. Like we are busy ladies. Like never ever think a coach just does it because they're bored, because that's the last thing. You make the time to do this at the end of the day, just like you make the time for your health journey. The really cool thing with just like our coach collaboration and like the community you'll get right off the start is like we work together with everything. you will never, the only way you'll feel alone in this business is if you truly isolate yourself and never lean into the team. But we have a team page that is always something is happening, and people are always inviting you to join them, to like, hey, let's get on a call. Let's get on a work session. Let's get up early in the morning to work out. Like, you're never alone in this. We also have monthly boot camp groups that we will plug you into. And that's like truly where the energy and community is built, especially now that things are so virtual, and like we just need that community more than ever. So these are just a few of the ladies on our team and some of their jobs, just a few of them. So feel free to like put in the chat section what your occupation is, what you do. But I truly think it's just another testament of like the diversity of our team, and just like how everyone brings something totally unique and something different to the table. I really love how we have so many as like health professions also in our group. I think that always just, to me, it's like, dang, even people who went to school for health, we have a lot of physical therapists, a lot of pharmacists, a lot of doctors and nurses and occupational therapists, like people who went to school studying health realize like they need quick, efficient workouts, and they need products that are going to, you know, help them along in their health journey. But we have like women from all over, all walks of life. Like, you will always be connected no matter what. All right, I'm gonna get into my story a little bit. I know I'm talking like a million miles an hour, but we have like a lot of stuff to cover. So I wanna make sure we get to everything, and I know your guys' time is precious. So I have already said a little bit. I'm a wife of 9 years. I'm a mom to these 3 beautiful kids. Ava is 5, Levi is 3, and Asher is 2. Can we also bring back summer and swimsuits and being outside all the time, because that just looks really nice right now. I'm a former teacher. I'll get into that in just a second. But my health journey truly starts like of course, when you're younger. And when I was younger, I grew up in a very small town. I grew up in Danville, Iowa. I know some of you know where that is. But my health journey was just really easy because my mom cooked really good meals for us, and I was always involved in every single sport. And so I never just had to work at it. And of course, it wasn't until college when I constantly ate at the cereal bar, the dessert bar, and started drinking and all of those things that packs on to a 5'2" girl really fast. So I gained like 15, 20 pounds like that. And if you're short or if you're not short, when you have like a little bit extra weight, you just feel so uncomfortable. So it wasn't truly until like my senior year when I was like, oh, dang, I know I was going to get married soon, and I knew we were about to graduate. I'm like, I need to get my health in shape because I feel just terrible and awful. And I'm in my senior year of college, and like, I should be living my best life, but like, I'm not, because I feel so uncomfortable in my skin. So what did I do? I cut all carbs and I started running my butt off. And let me tell you, when you do those two things, you lose weight really fast. And I felt really good. I won't lie. Like, I was skinny. I looked good. I was like, finally, I feel it. I'm in college, and I just felt really good in my skin. And we got married, and we moved out to Colorado. We're living the life. And I was a teacher. I love little kids. And I got placed in a 6th grade position that was a 2-hour commute. And I was so stressed to the max, didn't work out, and I snacked all the time. And that 15 to 20 pounds came right back because I had nothing sustainable going on in my life with my health journey, and it was stressful. So if you've ever been like that, I get it. And from there, it just kind of started this yo-yo dieting where like every few months I'd try really hard to be on top of it, and then life would happen and I would slip back and gain weight back. And for like, I mean, really, it's truly like a decade of my life, thinking of college and earlier years of marriage, where it was just like a back and forth and a back and forth. And that's really, really tiring if you've ever been on that yo-yo dieting train. But that's when my first daughter was born. And that's when I was watching also my coach, Megan. She was, at the time, I had no idea she was. Like, she was just one of my friends had liked her Facebook page. So I was like, oh, who is this cute girl bouncing all around in her living room? We were both pregnant at the same time. And she like popped back to her postpartum body right away. And then she was also talking about this business. And I was like, what in the world is this girl doing? Where she's like, looks amazing. She's making money. She's had 3 kids. Like, I need to know what she's doing, more so for the health part. But also, as soon as I had my daughter, Ava, my love for teaching just disappeared. And I was not giving to my students like I should. I was watching the clock constantly, wanting to go home. And like, that was not fair to anyone. I was miserable. But I also knew that going down to one income, we would have to sacrifice a lot. We'd have to sacrifice like saving for retirement, saving for kids' college, vacations, like girls' trips, just those little things. And I knew I didn't want to sacrifice things just because I wanted to stay at home. So that's when I reached out to Megan and I was like, all right, I need this for the health because my health, like, I don't want to go through motherhood like I have the last 10 years. And like, what is this whole business part? Because I could use some money too. So I started coaching in 2016, end of 2016. And I wish I could say like I dived all in and I went all in, but I was that coach who just, I said I was all in my head. And then like, it was just this secret thing that I kind of did online, which just sounds so silly, but like, I never really talked about it with my husband. I never really said anything to my family about it or my friends because they would think it's really weird. But of course, they're watching me. So it was weird. But like, here's what I've learned: no one took it seriously because I wasn't taking it seriously. So if like I was to give any advice to you tonight, like embrace it. And like, this is a thing where I'm like, I have truly changed as soon as I started the workouts and as soon as I started drinking Shakeology, everything clicked. I was like, oh, this is what healthy is. Like, it's super sustainable. Like, it doesn't take 2 hours at the gym. I don't have to shop at 10 different grocery stores in the organic section. Like, I can eat healthy and get really good results on very minimal time. So once I kind of realized like, I shouldn't be embarrassed about this, I just need to start sharing it from the rooftop because it's changed me from the inside out. That's when like, I feel like coaching really clicked for me and I started taking off. I'm going to start soft talking and I'm going to pass it over to Dana now.
All right. Hello, I am Dana. I've been married to my husband, Aaron, for not 4 years, for 11 years this year. Yeah. And we have 4 kiddos, Bronson, Mirabel, Nell, and June. They range from 9 to 3. So we live in central Iowa, just in the Des Moines area. Carlisle is our school district. We live on our family's farm, and I'm actually sitting in the bedroom that I grew up in. We live with my parents because we had a house fire in May, so we're 6 months without our home, which has just been a whirlwind, but it's become a testament part of my story, so I think it's worth noting. Anyway, I was formerly a teacher, but that was actually about almost 7-8 years ago now that I taught. I kind of had a really similar thing with when I had my first. I just knew that it wasn't for me for forever. I just remember I sat there. I was actually pregnant with him my first year, and I just thought like, I can't do this forever. And at that time I had no idea. Obviously we're like 9 years later now. I had no idea where God was like trying to tell me to go. But that's when my first nudges started, was 9 years ago, that there was something else for me to do. Anyway, but my health and fitness journey. So my husband, okay, let me tell about my family real quick and then I'll do my journey. My husband is a full-time teacher. He teaches STEM at our local school district. And then he also is basically a full-time, I mean, not basically, he is a full-time farmer also. So like Brooke said, everybody has their own kind of busy, and I do not like to glorify busy, but we have a lot going on in a lot of directions, except for right now because we're in quarantine. But anyway, so my health journey also kind of bounces around. I'm going to go back to mainly like college, newly married. I just never ever had consistency. So it says on here, like, I tried all the things, because I literally did. Not going to go into a ton of detail around my mindset around those things, but for example, I mean, in college, I ran on the treadmill. I lifted the same exact weights, never upped my weights, same reps, same everything, and didn't eat a lot. And I got really skinny before our wedding. Like, cool, that felt like a win, you know? And then like I had kids, and I did a lot of other things. Like I did extreme programming where, like, I don't know, you call them different places, different place, like wherever you live, but it was, can't remember what it was called here. It was like a 6-week program. It was super expensive. I had to go every day. Took my kids to daycare to be able to go while I was on maternity leave. Like, half marathon. I paid other programs. I did like all the things and never felt content. And in the end, always felt like a failure. And I am an Enneagram 3. And if you know that, like what those are, I am an achiever. I like to win. I like to do well. So like that kind of was not cool with me. That didn't sit with me, that I always felt like a failure. But that's why I didn't like to start new things all the time, because I just never felt like I could complete and be successful with anything. But anyway, long story short, I was a pretty avid gym goer once I was a stay-at-home parent, until I had my third. And I stopped going to the gym with her because I literally could not leave her with anybody for 2 years. I mean, my Nellie, I see Brooke smiling because she loves Nell, but she's like my needy child. And so I was a really avid gym goer until I had her and I couldn't go anymore. And I did Beachbody off and on, but I actually was not all in for the first couple of years at all. And I look back on that, and there's really two things that were not there for me. My mindset just literally was not there. I wasn't there for sustainable health. I was there for a quick fix. And then also I really was not plugged into a community. I had a former coach, and then I was actually working with Brooke when I got pregnant with my fourth, very unexpectedly. And, I thought my life, I told you I had those nudges 9 years ago, and I really was at a place in my life where I thought I knew where God was leading me. And then I got pregnant. And it was like, okay, I thought we were going to go down the road of foster care. And I was like, well, our house was literally not big enough to have 4 children and become certified for foster care. So that was kind of like a really dark place in my life. But anyway, after I had June, which obviously we love her, with my health and fitness, it was kind of an end all be all. I don't think pregnancy should be an excuse. I used it as one. And I can't take that part of my story back. So all I could do was choose to control what I could control moving forward. I think I advocate for healthy pregnancies, but I wasn't. And for me, it was after June that I was like, okay, Dana, like, this is it. You're going to start and you're never going to stop. Because I knew at that point I wasn't going to have any more babies. And I hate that it was like that. But again, I can't take that back. And so I really went all in after I had June. So that was in 2017. I kind of plateaued about 4 months into my journey. And this is really important. I was just a customer, but in January of 2018, I committed to a program. I said I was going to do 80-day obsession from start to finish as a customer. I committed to Shakeology. I had been a half scooper / don't drink shakes / all the things we hear about not wanting to drink a protein drink because it's not a protein drink, but whatever. I said all the things, did all the things. I didn't want to drink it. I committed to it in January of that year. And I was already pretty plugged into the challenge group community and just kept that going. And I saw amazing results. And I was following Portion Fix containers too. It spoke for itself. Like my results, I started to feel really good. And so naturally, people started asking me what I was doing. And some of this I'm going to save for the next part I talk about. They started asking me what I was doing. And long story short, my coaching journey really started when I crunched some numbers and I realized that if I had 1 or 2 of my friends that were already asking me what I was doing join me, then I could cover the cost of my Shakeology that I now loved. So honestly, when I got started, it was a really selfish intentions. Like I just wanted that product covered because I felt good and I wanted to keep feeling good. Again, I'm not going to get super into my coach journey, but long story short, I found that I felt good. Like, why would I not share that with somebody else? I don't know what they need to help them feel good. And then over time, I've just found like the financial blessings that this can provide. Like I said, my husband works 2 jobs. I always thought I would have to go back to teaching. And this has opened avenues and doors. I never even my brain couldn't even go there. Like it was never something I'd even ever contemplated that we would both live without with no restrictions of time. Like maybe he could farm and I could still be home. Like that was never on our radar. It was always one or the other. Somebody would have to sacrifice until I really dug into the coach community. So Rebecca's up.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm Rebecca. Okay, a little bit about me. I am married. My husband's name is Gunnar. We live in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've been married for 4 years. We have a dog. His name is Jeter. We named him after Derek Jeter, if anyone's Yankees fans. Probably not. But my like word under there that we put is exercise junkie, which I'll talk about once I get to my fitness story. I work for Athletes in Action. It's a campus ministry. So faith's a really important part of my life. And basically me and my husband, he used to be a PE teacher, but now we both work for this organization where we meet with college athletes and coaches and we help them grow in their faith. That's like the simple version. So my story, it's funny because Brooke said that her like goes back to her child where her family ate really healthy. My family was the very opposite of that. So I'm the middle of 7 kids and like we would eat spaghetti like 3 times a week. Lunch was mac and cheese and we would literally like take Doritos and use it for our spoon. Like our lunch was Doritos and mac and cheese. And like we always had probably honestly like to this day, our family hasn't changed that much, but we'll have like 8 gallons of ice cream in the freezer at all times. We had probably like 20 boxes of all the sugary cereals. So like I did not know what nutrition was. So like it's funny because even when I was younger, I was very active. I've always loved sports. But obviously, like I've learned that nutrition is a huge part to your results. And so when I was little, I was actually pretty I was chubby. I was also kind of shorter. Like my sisters would tell me I was chubby. Like my dad would be like, hey, you should probably go run to the tennis court and back. Like that makes him sound so bad. My dad loves me, but like I don't think he knew another way to be like, oh, I see my daughter's like gaining weight. What do I tell her to do? Like, oh, maybe you should go run. But like, I feel like from a young age, like working out was a punishment and was like a way that I knew like, okay, if I want to look good, I need to run or like I need to work out in order to look good. And so I didn't really work out besides for running to the tennis court. That was my form of working out till college. Like I hated it, but I'm like, I'm going to go run because I was competitive and I was like, I can tell I need to like lose some weight. So I would just like force myself and it was miserable every time. But then in college, I had lost a lot of weight, like had gotten a growth spurt and I got really into working out. And I like obsessive. So that's where like the exercise junkie comes in. I would like wake up, me and my friend, we would go run. If any of you have ever done like the Kayla Itzine's BBG program, we would do one of her workouts. Sometimes we like add on extra things. We'd be like, oh, she didn't make it hard enough. Let's like add more things to it. And then like in the evening, I would then go to Body Pump, which is a group fitness class, which I loved. I'd go to Body Pump. And then after Body Pump, I'd be like, the abs are only a 5-minute song. So like, obviously we probably didn't get that good of abs. So then I'd go to like the exercise studio and we would do our own ab workouts. So like that began probably like end of my sophomore year of college. And then I just became obsessed with working out. So, but it just never felt good enough. And like, I remember junior year, I started skipping meals. Like I wouldn't say I wasn't anorexic, but like I definitely had disordered eating where I would like work out all of this like so much, but then I would analyze my stomach. Like working out was all about having a flat stomach to me and wanting abs. And so I would just like lift my shirt up and I would stare at my stomach, like honestly, probably like 20 to 30 times a day. It was like obsessive. It was not healthy. But like I still knew nothing about nutrition because I grew up just eating whatever I wanted to. So I still would like eat milkshakes at the diner every night. But then I would work out a lot to try to make up for the milkshakes that I drank and like what I would binge and eat on the weekends. So that's kind of like where I was at with exercising. And so graduated from college and was still working out a lot. And kind of where coaching comes in is when I started following Brooke on Instagram. So I've known Brooke like since we were little. I was also born in Iowa. And so we hadn't talked in a long time. She was also 6 years older than me. She was friends with like my older sister. So it's not like we were friends when we were little. I was like 3 years old. But so when I started following her and saw that she was coaching, fitness wasn't what motivated me to coaching, because I was like, I don't need a transformation story. Like, I'm already fit, I'm already athletic, like I work out all the time. But like, if you look at my transformation pick, like on the PowerPoint, like nutrition contributes so much to your results. So even though I felt strong and I was working out every day, I never was seeing the results that I wanted because I didn't know what nutrition was supposed to look like. Even though I was probably eating not very many calories, I still wasn't seeing like what I wanted, which just shows how important nutrition is. But also, I think it's funny because I was thinking about this today, because I took that first picture in November, and thinking about the holidays, I feel like the holidays, working out was always something that I wanted external results because I wanted people to think I was attractive. But in November, December, I'm not wearing a bathing suit. So that's when I would let myself go, because I'm like, well, I don't need to work out now because nobody's going to see me in a bathing suit till May. So I can now afford to like eat whatever the crap I want. And then come like March, that's when I'm going to start like beating myself, because I know I'm gonna be able to force myself to do it then. So I feel like my relationship with fitness and exercise was just extremely unhealthy. It felt like a chore, and it was obsessive, and it wasn't freeing. And so it's cool because when I became a coach, my main reason for coaching was I wanted the freedom to one day when I have a family, I wanted to be able to work from home. And it's really cool because like now I am on that path where like if we have kids in the next year or two, I'll be able to do that because of Beachbody, which is awesome. And just like the community and friendships it's provided. But it's really cool because I didn't think when I signed up as a coach that I would have a transformation with health and fitness. But looking back on it, that has 100% been the best part about being a coach, because not only have I learned about nutrition, like, okay, you can eat carbs and still reach your goals. Like, you don't have to go to the gym for 2 hours a day to be skinny. Like, there's more important things in life than being skinny, and that's being strong. And I think like it's been really cool to see that journey happened, even though I thought I was just getting the coaching to make money. And it's been really cool to see like, oh, wow, I've learned a lot and grown a lot when I didn't think I needed that. And so that's kind of like a snippet of my coaching journey, but just like a bunch of the like benefits. And even though I wanted freedom for money, like freedom from obsessing over my body has been like the greatest gift that I've experienced so far. So that's all I have.
All right. I think Dana, you got this one.
Yep. Okay. So we are fully aware that probably one of your biggest hesitations is that you don't want to sell something. I think that all three of us can relate to that. And I think almost everybody that gets started with Beachbody, at least the coaches that I work with, that is for sure one of the biggest hesitations. They don't want to sell a thing. And, you know, I have sold things before. I've actually been a part of companies, but I think getting your mindset around this being an opportunity, a gift, like I said, we all had stories of feeling good and wanting to share that with somebody. I'm going to share this quick story and I'll have you go to the next slide. I was thinking, I've kind of like vented this to people before when I have messages to me that say like, oh, do you sell Beachbody? Or, oh, what do you sell? And I always want to say, this is going to sound like really, I don't mean this in a conceited way. I'm going to preface it. I always want to be like, I sell Dana White. Like, I'm selling my story. I'm selling my community. I'm selling like what I've done. Sure, like Beachbody is a platform for the workouts and the products are awesome, but I'm not just selling you those. I'm selling you a lifestyle. I'm not even selling you a lifestyle. I'm teaching you a lifestyle. And that, like Brooke said, there is a transaction that goes with that. Okay, I don't remember what the next slide says, but you can go to it. What it takes, yeah, I go to that. What was the one before this? I don't think I had much to say with it. Okay, what it takes to get inquiring minds. So this is kind of just about how we have those conversations. Go ahead and go to the next one. So like we said, you're going to attract people that are like you. And I know like a lot of people maybe on here, I guess I don't really know who's even on here for sure, but maybe you didn't know the person and invited you super well, but more than likely at some point you've had some commonalities. But when you get started as a coach, and one of my coaches, my top coach, she shared this, and I was like, I didn't do this really well. And I know some others on here maybe have the same story, is those in-person conversations, those people that already love you. You don't have to all of a sudden start sending messages to everybody on your friends list. We'll get to a point where we teach you to share this unapologetically without any boundaries. But I understand that if you were wanting to get started, that you should start with the people that closest in your circle, because it's something that you love and that you can stand behind, like I just talked about. So starting with the people, your family, your friends, they already trust you. For myself, in some ways, this was my hardest. I have some people that I waited a long time, but like my closest friend circle is probably one of the most supportive and were most of my first coaches and customers. Not only because I just shared it with them, because they saw my transformation. I already shared a little on social media. So they naturally were like, okay, texting me all the time, like, okay, what are you doing? Like, I need to do that too. Compliment givers. So like, if you get that transformation and people ask you about it, I speak with so much confidence now, or I like to act like I have so much confidence, but I had like none in the beginning. And even still today, if I was in public and somebody asks me, sometimes I hesitate. And I don't like that I do that. I think that that's so silly, and that's just part of that stigma that we worry too much about what people think. But just when you get brave enough to post that first before and after, if you decide to do that, you don't have to do that, but if you decide to, I think you'll be surprised by the amount of people that have positive things to say that are already in your circle. They will cheer. Here's what I think. If they truly love you, they should cheer you on. If they're really somebody that's there to support you. And then do not fear the eye rollers. I want to share 2 things about this, and then I'll kind of move off my sales pedestal. The 2 things I wanted to share that was huge for me is actually the first thing. It comes in 2 parts. When I first started sharing coaching, we had a big launch of a brand new program, Transform 20, and I said that I didn't want to share it. I didn't want to do the step. I wasn't super attracted to it. And Brooke shared with me, like, you don't know what somebody else needs. Like, you don't know who needs a 20-minute program. So fearing the eye rollers is just like, I think we think that people are rolling eyes when really they're just watching. And all you have to do is ask. And so my story with Transform 20 was I changed my mindset. I promoted it like heck. It's my favorite program, hands down, in our library. Obviously, I didn't even know what I needed, let alone what other people needed. And that just transformed my business when I shared that unapologetically. And that December, when I shared Transform 20, I also got really rooted personally in my beliefs. And I don't know who here, I can't not share this part because it's a huge part of my story, is a believer or not. But I became very rooted in my worth comes alone from Christ. And I know that my heart and my intentions are in a good place. So I can ask anybody anything and they can think anything that they want. But as long as every day I go into it knowing that my intentions are pure and I truly just do want to help people, they can say anything back to me. And maybe sometimes it'll make my blood pressure rise, but I just remind myself that didn't really matter, because what they thought didn't, at the end of the day, really does not matter, because I knew my intentions were good. And one of the ways to kind of get over that fear of inviting is to think of it as you would invite anybody, like the slide says, to a party that you're having, like, or a restaurant that you tried that was really good. So why would you not invite people to a lifestyle that either is going to change your life and say, hey, come do this with me. It looks so good. Let's do it together. Or if you already have seen the transformation, it's selfish if we don't. Truly, I feel selfish. Erin and I, we joked the other night, I said something like, if I don't hit this goal next year, then he's like, what are you going to do? Quit? As in, like, we know that I'm not going to go anywhere because we know that I've created a lifestyle. It's not just a thing. It's not just a fashion trend. It's not just a product that I'm using. It is a full lifestyle that for me has impacted every area of my life. So I just like to think of it that way, as something that you're just sharing people and inviting them to, whether it be a party or just, you don't know who wants to come, and wouldn't it suck if you weren't invited? So I think that's the last I had. Yeah. And then you're gonna talk about social media.
So good, Dana. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna talk about social media. Funny, because I almost didn't sign up as a coach because I was terrified about sharing on social media. So this is very fitting. Okay, so in the chat, actually, what I want you to do is type, what are the things you enjoy following on social media? And what are like the main reasons that lead you to follow someone? So you guys can type in there. I'll give you guys 10 seconds. We'll see how fast you can type. Positivity, relatable, what I'm going through, same interests. Cool, cool. Dog moms motivation. Yes, dog moms represent. Awesome. So I think even just from those like faith, growth, mom, life, interests. Yeah, so a lot of it is you're going to follow people who you have things in common with, people who you have been friends with, someone you've made a connection with, similar interests. And so with social media plays a huge part in coaching because we call it like our business storefront. If we don't ever share what we're doing on social media, nobody's going to know they can join us. So like Black Friday's coming up. If J. Crew doesn't post what they have going on, nobody's going to know they have anything going on, and no one's going to go to the store early because they don't know. So kind of the same thing with social media. And so what I really want you guys to understand though is like, you follow people on social media because you connect with them and you have similar interests. So when you become a coach, like you don't just become this walking billboard for Beachbody. And we don't want you to become a walking billboard for Beachbody, because that might not be something people relate with you at first. And so really social media is just a tool we use so that you can share authentically what you're doing in your life. And yes, fitness and nutrition are going to be two of those things, because as a coach, our first job is to take care of ourselves. And so naturally, you're going to be sharing those things, but you're still going to share the things that people began following you for in the first place. So if you're a dog mom, like I post about my dog Jeter all the time. If faith is important to you, let people know what devotions you're doing, like give value to people. We want to use social media for the purpose it was created, which is to be social. And so we're going to share about our lives. And as we share about our lives, we're going to connect with people. When people comment on my posts, I'm going to comment back. When I go to people's social medias, I'm going to ask them questions. I'm going to connect with them, because that's why social media was created. So kind of on this PowerPoint, couple things about social media. Insta stories I love because you get to see like the behind the scenes of people's lives. And when I became a coach, I almost didn't want to do it because of social media, because I honestly hardly ever posted on social media. Like I was bad at technology. I didn't even know what memes were. Like, it's funny because I'm the young one, like one of the younger coaches on our team, but I was not good with that type of stuff. And so I was like, oh, I can't do that because like they're so good at their posts and like all of that stuff. But like, it doesn't need to be fancy, because again, like what you guys put in the chat, you follow people because they're positive, because you connect with them and they're genuine. And so that's really all you need to do with social media, is just be yourself. And so Insta stories are huge. Just share kind of like the different things you have going on in your life. Be yourself, like be authentic, and just share where you're at. So this next slide, Brooke, you can go to. I'm just going to talk through like some examples of, okay, what type of things do you share on social media when you become a coach? And so the first thing and the main thing you should share about is just you, like your everyday life. So we kind of say Beachbody is like a part of your life, but that should just be like the commercials. Like on your Instagram story, it shouldn't be like, hey guys, like look at my Shakeology discount this month. Like you can get $20 off. Like nobody wants to see that, to be honest. They're just gonna like swipe through because then it comes across as salesy and it's like, I followed you on Instagram because like you're my friend, but like all I ever see is like you talking about sales. So like you want to just share about you. And so like everyday life, like some of these pictures we see like you're at your son's baseball game. You want to share about your dog, just like different things, like maybe tips you have. If you see like Thanksgiving's coming up, like I like to follow people's recipes, like just different things that you enjoy. The next one talks about food. So as coaches, like nutrition is important. That's one of the, like I said in my story, that was important to me. That was huge to me for my transformation. And so I like to share a lot of recipes. I'm not a good cook. Like I literally make the same 3 meals like every week, but thankfully it's not mac and cheese and Doritos. Like I do choose some healthy options. But like you can give people tips on like, okay, how do you meal prep? Like what is the recipe you're trying? You can use polls to ask people like, what are things that you're enjoying, just so you can engage with people. Because again, you can post tons on social media, but if you're never interacting with people, not that it's a waste, but like we're not just putting out content, but we want to engage with people on our content because coaching is a relationship business. So we're not here just to get a lot of likes on social media or to gain a lot of followers. We're here to form friendships and connections. And so that's really huge with the polls. Next, workouts. This might be an area that you're terrified to share about. I know this was something that I did not want to share about when I became a coach. I was like, just really nervous about showing my workout clips or anything related to that. But you may think like, oh, I'm not in the place, I haven't reached my goals yet, so I can't share about my workouts. But what's really cool is that people are going to relate to where you are on your journey. So we encourage you, like, share from day one. If you sign up to be a coach tonight, you're never going to feel like you arrived at your goal anyway. Like, just start sharing your journey. Start sharing like, hey guys, this is a program I'm doing. It's 20 minutes a day. Like, share how it fits in your life, just so that people can begin to follow along. And honestly, you'll be surprised. Like when I posted my first like workout clip, people will be like, oh my gosh, you motivate me. Or like, I don't work out yet, but like, honestly, like you do make me like want to work out. Like you're going to help people's mindsets start to change. And when they are ready to work out, you're going to be the person they come to because you've shown up every single day consistently. And so consistency is the word. You need consistency in your health journey, but you need consistency on social media, because if you show up one day a month on your social media or one day a week, like, why would I ever choose you to be my coach? Because you're not showing up consistently. So I'm not going to trust you to show up for me. So that's really important to just share about your workouts consistently. Okay, product plugs. I said before, you don't want to be walking billboard for Beachbody, but it is important. Like, these things have impacted your life. So just like Dana said earlier, if I go to Trader Joe's and I find some like, okay, like today I shared a teriyaki sauce I love. Like I posted it because I'm like, guys, this is the best teriyaki sauce I've had. And there's like no grams of sugar in it. Y'all need to try it. The same thing with our products. They've impacted our lives. We love them. So it's not weird to share about them if you're using it every single day. But if you look at these pictures, like it doesn't have product names on it. We call this soft advertising. So you're going to highlight it. So this is Energize. If you never tried it, it's actually amazing. It's our plant-based pre-workout. This here, the portion containers, those literally like saved my life with nutrition because they help you see like, oh, it's not about restricting food groups. It's about learning portion control. This kid's cute. But like you can just like highlight the products without like making it seem salesy. But you do want to highlight them because, again, you are running a business. Okay, cool. So those are kind of the things about social media. Again, you just want to share your life authentically. You don't want to share just about Beachbody. You just want to share about yourself, and you want to connect with people because this is a relationship business. So I think, Brooke, you're going to.
Yes. Love it, Rebecca. So such good reminders, even for myself, 4 years into this. I'm just like, yeah, I need that pep talk. Okay, so we've given you kind of all like the nitty gritty, or I'm about to give you the nitty gritty details, more about the business side. We've given you, talked about social media, sales, all those things, our stories. So let's get down to like, okay, this is a business. What does this mean? What does this look like? Because this is maybe kind of like Rebecca said, and I said, like, we were interested in the money side of things like that. We knew it could do big things for our family or for ourselves. And then of course it like turned our whole world upside down. We didn't even know we needed it. But so for the first thing you need to know is that you get, as a coach, you get a discount of 25% off all products, off Shakeology, Energize, 3-Day Refresh, Beach Bars, Hydrate. Like, so if you are a customer right now and you are using 1 or 2 products a month, like you need to sign up for a coach strictly for the discount. As coaches as well, we get 25% commission on everything. On a few things, we do get 40% commission. So even if like, you know, you're just kind of sharing or kind of a discount coach, but someone comes to you, it's like, you're going to get compensated just because they signed up through you. And then here is the biggest way. I'm not going to go fully into this because I do realize it is approaching 9:30 and I want to respect your time. But this is the biggest way that you can earn, which is called the team cycle bonus. And that is earning off the productivity of your team. So when you sign up as a coach, you are the CEO. That's like, if I could just hammer one thing home when people sign up as a coach, is like, you are a CEO. You have a business right now, and you are the very top. We are a binary system. So we do have 2 sides. We have a right side and a left side. So you're at the top and you have 2 sides. When you become an Emerald coach, which is the first rank, an Emerald coach is when you have one personally sponsored coach on your right side and one personally sponsored coach on your left side, you get the team cycle bonus, which is measured in volume. So every product that Beachbody has a volume number tied to it. 90 volume is tied to Shakeology. I think Energize is 38. Those are always the 2 I know off of my hand. The rest of them, I always have to look. But so it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So anytime one leg hits 200 volume, so like just depends. So a couple coaches might order Shakeology, some Energize, and on the other leg, it hits 100 volume. So it always has to be a 2-to-1 ratio, 200, 100. A team cycle bonus happens and you get $14. So before you say like, whoop-de-doo, Brooke, like that's $14. First of all, that is like basically going to cover your monthly coach business fee right there. But also that $14, as you start building your team of coaches, that adds up. Like for me personally, I saw that $14 like once a month when I just had a few coaches underneath me. Like it wasn't very big. But as like my coaches started to add coaches and we started to grow a team, I saw that $14, okay, weekly. And then I saw it every single day. And then I saw it a lot of times a day. And then as I went up in rank, that team cycle bonus actually goes up and it caps out when you're a diamond coach, it goes up to $18. And that can happen like hundreds of times a day. And that's where the bulk earning of this business. Commissions are great. And commissions at first, that's what's going to cover like your business fee and all your products, and commissions are great. I'll never pass on commissions, but team cycle bonus is truly the bulk of the earning. If you are serious, if you're like, I want to build a business and earn an income, then you need to think long-term of like building a team, and also think long-term of like, Dana said it, Rebecca and I were on a call earlier today, and Dana said it so beautifully. She was talking about how she heard another coach say, so many people view this as a microwave business where it's like, all right, I worked hard for a month. Like, where's all this money at? But like, we're actually a crock pot business, just like Rebecca was talking about, that consistency over time, and that crock pot that just kind of cooks a little bit at a time. And you add coaches, you add customers every single month. And then one day, like, whoa, I have this huge booming business or crockpot meal or whatever you want to think of it as. So I want you to think long term. It's little bitty steps to get there, and we'll break down the steps for you. We work towards it every single month together as a team. You're never alone. Working on adding coaches to your network, working on getting customers added, working on your own health journey. Like, we do it all together. And that's why our team is successful, is because if you just lean into it, like, we all hold hands and we all run after goals together. Another big thing is incentives and trips. I'm not sure if you're into traveling at all, but I'm a huge traveler. Sadly, this year has thrown a huge wrench because truly, I mean, the beautiful thing about what we do as coaches and Beachbody is that we can do it from wherever. It's virtual like 90% of the time, but the in-person get-togethers are like, it's unexplainable. Like, because these people that you get along with so well on social media, like actually being with them in real life is like you are with your long lost best friend. And like, I can truly say that because I've been a coach for 4 years, and every trip I've gone on, like everyone I meet is just like, yeah, these are my people. These people just, we think alike, we get life, we do life. We might stay out a little bit late and drink at night. And then guess what? We're going to eat right in the morning. We're going to drink our shake. We're going to get in a workout. We're going to work hard. And then we're going to go enjoy our life. So we have incentive trips. We have a Success Club trip, which means that if you just help 3 people every single month, then you actually get to take one other person, you and a guest, on an all-inclusive trip. We're going to Riviera Maya in April. Another really cool trip is we have a leadership retreat. We just had it in Destin, Florida, where we rented out 2 houses right on the beach. It was freaking incredible. And then there's also a lot of other big trips in there, but like, if you are into traveling at all, like this is your gig. And like, it's been the coolest part of this business for me, at least one of the coolest parts, so many cool parts. And then I can't see, my screen's in the way. So then the gifts and rewards, we give a lot of Beachbody. First of all, like they're very generous with their gifts. They're always like sending us free tank tops, free whatever, but also like as our team of coaches, we also are really into gifts, like the Amazon gift cards, but we give gifts just for, if you help 3 people a month, or if you hit a certain goal or rank, like, I don't know. I always feel like it's Christmas as a coach because there's always something new on my doorstep. And like, for me, I'm a gift my love language is gift giving. So like for me, I thrive off of that. And it's not necessarily the gift, it's the thought behind the gift. And like, they're recognizing your efforts. And I just know, I think back to as a teacher, I remember like, I did something as a teacher, and I was of course, teaching is so rewarding in itself, but I was rewarded with this like little lanyard with my name on it. I was like, oh, cool. This is so awesome. And now I'm rewarded with like huge trips and just really cool things. And I just think that's a really cool part of this business as well. All right. Here's just a few pictures of the in-person fun we have. Gosh, makes me want to get back together in person right now. And then a few income progression shots. I always just want to preface it again. This is a crockpot industry. This is my income progression, and then my coach Megan's income progression. She's been a coach for 7 years, but she's gone like hardcore those 7 years. And like, these are monthly breakdowns. So like it's truly endless of where you want to take this if you're serious about it. And I know for myself, like I replaced my teaching income 2 years into this business fully. And now like I've like quadrupled my teaching income because teachers don't make a lot. At least I didn't as a teacher. And then here's a few just as like newer coaches, 2 years, 18 months into coaching, of like realistically, when you have a busy life, but you put your head down and you take those little steps every month, like what could this do for your family? So really quick in the chat, I know some of you guys might be having to hop off, but like what would $200 do for you? Or like I just wanted you to throw in the chat, or like whether it's a dollar amount, or like what could it benefit your family by just making like $200, $300, $400 more a month? What could that do for you? Maybe it's just like covering groceries or diapers, or sneaking in a couple more trips to Target, because we all know you blow like $200 when you do that. But it starts off small. So many times people think like, oh, I can't share about coaching or what it does for me because I'm not making as much as you. Well, guess what? Like, I actually am really unrelatable now with my income. Like the small income that new coaches make is actually way more relatable. Like, oh, you made $100 this month, or you made $100 this week. Like, just by sharing what you're doing, like I could do that. So never think like, whatever little amount of money doesn't mean something to someone, because it truly does. All right. And then I had to put in, this is like our Beachbody, like income disclaimer, because it truly, you don't just sign up as a coach and everything just comes to you. You have to put the work and efforts and diligence and skill in and month out. Like you're the CEO and you decide on how you handle this. Okay. Why we think you can do this. I think Dana's going to take this part and then Rebecca's going to wrap it up. So,
yep. I'll make this super quick because most of this we've already shared. I'm just going to kind of recap it. I actually had to switch to my phone, so I hope you guys can see me. I can't see myself. So why we think you can do this, I really think anybody can do this. And that's the beauty of coaching, is you can totally make it your own. Nobody is the same. Like, sure, you attract your tribe, but I've been to the corporate events and there are a lot of different tribes in the Beachbody world. And that's what's super cool about it. You're not going to sell, you're going to just share something that you're doing. Social media, though a struggle for so many, myself included, is a beautiful platform that we can use to share easily and reach a large number of people, especially with COVID, because I mean, no one's going anywhere anyway. So we can make it something good when it can be so negative at times. And then, like we've shared a little bit about our team, we have all the resources and tools. And that's not to say you have to do all the things, but I just want you to know that all the things are there for when you're ready. And a lot of those tools, honestly, are super simple and not extreme. I personally I encourage my coaches to try to help 2 to 3 people a month. Like, we're not asking you to go out and sell like $5,000 worth of product every month or something crazy. I don't even know what other people do, but it's very simple business. And then, of course, because it's health and fitness, kind of like I shared about my husband asking me the other night, like, it's guaranteed to hold you accountable forever. And I understand that can be, for myself, that was one of my initial fears when I started not just coaching, but actually adding on challengers of my own and opening my own group. But now I'm so grateful for that. Like, I love that this is a lifestyle that I've created and I show my kids, and I have grown to love the accountability and not fear it. So coaching is the ultimate accountability.
Okay, I think this is me. So this last slide is just talking about signing up. So really quick, if you have signed up with a challenge pack, which is what I signed up, which is what most people sign up, we call that like our total body solution, because one, it includes the workouts for a year, and there's like hundreds of workout programs you can choose from. And being the exercise junkie I used to be, I thought that home workouts like weren't legit and wouldn't get you results. And they've given me the best results of my life. So the challenge pack, you'll get all of those workout programs, the 2 nutrition plans, and then a month of either Shakeology, which is a nutrition shake and is incredible, or you can choose between our plant-based pre-workout and Recover, which is a protein shake. And so when you sign up with that challenge pack, it's $160. It's actually on sale in November for $140. Then that coach cost, which is normally $40, is waived. So it literally costs you $0 to sign up as a coach if you signed up with the challenge pack. So if you're on this call and you signed up with the challenge pack, honestly, it's a no-brainer to become a coach because it doesn't cost you anything extra. There is the $15 monthly coach fee, which pays for your business, which pays for your website, which pays for all of the resources. But like Dana shared before, or Brooke shared before, you can easily earn that back just by signing up like a friend to do this with you once a month. And we all have friends who are looking to get in shape around the holidays. If you have never joined Beachbody, you've never done a workout, that's how I was when I became a coach. I had done like P90X like once in middle school with a friend, but I knew nothing about Beachbody really. And so you'll want to start and you'll want to sign up with that challenge pack because, like I said earlier, your own physical transformation is most important. Your own health journey is most important. So we want to get you started on a workout program and finish it start to finish. We want to help you choose a nutrition program and just begin your own journey. And so that if you are interested in signing up as a coach, you'll want to reach out to the person who invited you to this and let them know like, hey, I'm ready. Ask any questions you have, and they'll get you set up with that, and they'll send you an email so you can sign up. But yep, those are the 2 things.
Yay. All right, I'm stopping our share. And if I know it's late, so if you gotta go, that's totally fine. But we also want to just leave it up. If there's any questions right now, feel free to unmute yourself or put it in the chat or anything like that. I'm actually going to pull up a random name generator and stick your guys' names in and draw those 3 gift cards right now. So Rebecca or Dana, if you see any questions or if you just want to talk while I'm doing this. Where did it go?
Don't be shy. I had lots of questions when I watched my first coach sneak peek, so questions are welcomed.
I know one thing I always get is like, do you have to sign up or do you have to post in your sports bra and work out, all that stuff? What would you guys say to that?
No, you don't have to. You can do whatever you feel comfortable with. It is important to share what you're doing for your workouts because like we said, like if I didn't ever post what I was doing for working out, nobody would know that I'm even working out or that they could be a part of an accountability group with me. But it's really totally up to you what you want to share and how you want to share it.
All right, I have everyone's names plugged in, so I'm going to share my screen again and we're going to pick them and then we'll call it a night. Yay. Okay. This is like a free website, so sorry for all the random stuff. All right, first winner.
This is exciting.
I know. Stephanie. Woo! So we'll reach out to you and get like your emails and stuff because it'll just send on Amazon Prime or Amazon. Next winner. Wait, Stephanie. I think picking her their name. There wasn't 2 Stephanies. Okay. Stephanie won 2 times in a row. Mercedes. Yay. Good job. And one more winner. Oh, we must like do 2 in a row. Sorry. Last one is Lisa.
Which one? There's 2.
Oh, there's 2 Lisas. Shoot, I did not realize that. Well, maybe both of you will just get one. What is your last name?
Lean.
Perfect. We'll get those. So 2 Lisas, Stephanie, Mercedes. We'll just give it out an extra gift card. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I will post this recording in that Coach Sip and Learn group on Facebook. But again, if you have any questions, post them in there. Reach out to your coach. We hope this gave you all the information so that you can make the best informed decision. So make it a good night, you guys. See ya.